Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Farai Masaid, and today I would like to show you how you can carry out basic mathematical operations using Microsoft Excel. So the version of Microsoft Excel that I'm using is MS 2013. So please do enjoy, and also remember to like, subscribe, as well as hit that notification button so that each and every time when you introduce a new video, you will be the first one to get a notification. Thank you so much, guys. So first of all, we are going to focus on addition. So on addition, let's say for example I've been given two numbers. Let's say my first number is 20 and then the second one, let's say, is 25, and I want to carry out a simple addition operation. So what I'm going to do here, I'll just come here and say equals to, and then I want to take a cell, the first cell, which is cell number C3, and then I want to add with cell C4 so that I can see what value or what answer am I going to get. So as you can see, we are getting an answer of 45. So now that we have already inputted a formula here, if I want to change my numbers, for example, I can change 20 and make it 30. So automatically Excel already has calculated the answer for our for our two new figures that we have inputted. So that's the good thing about using Microsoft Excel, because as long as you have got already your inputted formulas, it becomes easy now to get solutions for other mathematical problems that you may encounter in your revision or in whatsoever that you are preparing for. Then also there is another way also of making these calculations much simpler, of which that is by mainly using the formulas that are already inputted or that are already coded in Microsoft Excel. So for example, for addition, I will come, let's say, just come below here and say equals to. I'll use the sum function now to get the value of these two numbers, of which I can say equals to sum and then open brackets, and then from there I drag or I highlight the cells which have got values that I want to sum up, and when I'm done, I'll then close my brackets and then I'll press enter. So as you can see, we are still getting the same answer, which is 55. So the good thing about using the sum function is that if you've got a very large quantity of data, it becomes easy for you to quickly get the solution of the numbers. Then the third and final way of obtaining a sum or of obtaining the total value of these numbers, you can simply come to your figures and then you highlight them. And when you're highlighting now, you have to also make sure that you highlight the next available cell soon after the last digit. And then from there, you simply go to your formulas on the ribbon tab there, and then you simply click auto sum. So the moment you click auto sum, Excel will then calculate the figures or will calculate the values that you have highlighted, and and the solution of the values will be inputted on that extra empty cell that you have highlighted as well. So as you can see, okay, let me do that again for the benefit of those who didn't see. So I've undone what I've done. So what we simply do, just come here, you highlight all your figures, and then after that you highlight the next available cell, and then on your formulas you simply click auto sum. So Excel will then go on to what, to add all the values that you would have highlighted. So this one is also very efficient, especially when you're dealing with additional data. So for additional data, for more data, you can check out the upcoming videos where we are dealing with large quantities of data and carrying out statistical formulas, so that we can see how very efficient these functions that are embedded in Excel are. Then from there we move on to subtraction, of which on subtraction now, let's say I've got two numbers again. I can say maybe 67 and maybe the next digit that I have is 30. So on this one, I simply come here and say equals to, I select my value, and then from there the first value that I've selected is what, is D3, which is 67, and then from there I subtract 30 or I subtract D4, then my answer becomes what, becomes 37. And again, if I want to change my figures now, let's say I change let's say 30, I change 30 to 40 for example, so automatically Excel will calculate and give us the value based on the new figures that we would have inputted in those active cells. So remember to always make sure that the formulas that you have inputted, and they are on the formulas that you have inputted. For example, here my formula is on D number 6, is on D6. So always make sure that whenever you are now changing your figures, remember where your formula is. Always remember where you have put your formula, so that if there are any changes, for example, if I can come here and put 100, nothing is going to happen, because the formula itself also is got only what? It's got only 2 cells, that is D3 and D4, that are active. If now I want to then, sorry, let me remove that. Yes, if now then I want to include this cell number 2 as well, if I want to include it in the formula, I can come here maybe to the first cell that I had selected, and then I can simply type D2, and then I can put my subtraction sign, and then from there I have altered my formula. So now Excel is subtracting all the 3 locus in all the 3 cells. So that is how we carry out subtraction. And then when it comes now to product, let's say again I've got 2 numbers, I've got 6 and I've got 4, and I want to multiply these 2 numbers. So what I can do, I can just come in and say equals to, then from there 6, and then I can say shift asterisk. That is what is used as a multiplication sign by Microsoft Excel, and then I select my second figure, and then I press enter. So that gives us 24, which is 6 multiplied by 24. So remember to use an asterisk. Remember to use an asterisk as a multiplication sign. Remember to use an asterisk as a multiplication sign. If you use if you happen to use the letter X in trying to multiply, Microsoft Excel will not be able to recognize X as a what? As a multiplication sign. Therefore, always make sure that you don't make that mistake, and always put the asterisk sign. For multiplication, again, we can also use the functions that are embedded in Microsoft, of which I can come here and say product. I can come here and say product, and then from there, after saying product, I then open my what? I put open brackets, and then I highlight the cells with the figures that I want to multiply, or the figures that I want to find the product of. And then from there, I will then press enter, and then if you can see, I'm still getting the same answer, I'm still getting the same value of 24. Well, as you have seen, most of the times we are using the equal sign whenever we are starting to input our formula. In place of equals to, we can also put a plus sign, so Microsoft will be able to recognize that as an instruction that we want to carry out. For example, in this case, I can say plus, and then I can put what? I can type product, and then my opening brackets, and then I highlight my numbers that I want to find the product of. And then from there, even sometimes if you mistakenly don't put the closing bracket, Microsoft Excel will put that bracket for you automatically, and then it calculates and gives you the what? The final figure, or the final value. So from multiplication table, what we are our take note, or our very important point to always take note of is, number 1, we're using an asterisk as a multiplication sign. We're using an asterisk as a multiplication sign. Then number 2, in place of the equal sign, we can as well as use the addition sign. In Microsoft Excel, we just treat that the same as what is we just treat it the same as an equal sign. And then from there, we move to our last but not least mathematical operation, which is the division. So on division, let's say I'm given 2 figures, which is 100, and then I'm dividing that 100, let's say, by 20. I'm dividing that 100 by 20. So in Microsoft Excel, you simply come and say equals to, or maybe for this one, let me just say plus, and then I then take my first value, and then I'm using my forward slash. So when it comes to division in Microsoft Excel, you have to use the forward slash. The forward slash is the one that is being interpreted as the division sign by Microsoft Excel. And then from there, I select my second cell or my second value, and then I press enter. So 100 divided by 20, we obtain 5. 100 divided by 20, we obtain 5. And same again here, if I can come here and decide to change my value, maybe change 20 to 50, automatically Microsoft Excel will calculate for me and give us the new value, or the new answer based on the updated information that we have inputted in our data. So ladies and gentlemen, this is how you can easily carry out your basic mathematical operations. So be on the lookout for another video that is coming shortly on how to deal with large quantities of data, especially when carrying out these mathematical operations, of which some of this stuff we have already discussed here and they have already shown you. But then we are going to focus mainly on a practical example, so that we can see, so that we can learn, and then we'll be able to move on to other lessons, and maybe we'll be able to carry out statistical solutions for our data that would have been available at that point in time. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your time, and like I said, please remember to subscribe to our channel, and also like us, comment, so that we can continue producing these videos. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting Farai Masai. Thank you for supporting Real Car Life. Thank you. Have a blessed day, ladies and gentlemen.